All right, good evening, everybody. This is the planning board meeting for the city of Springfield on Wednesday, February 17th. Bill, if you would do roll call, please.
Mr. Cunningham?
Here.
Mr. Minio? Absent. Mr. Daniele?
Here.
Ms. Moran?
Here.
Ms. DiFilippo?
Here.
Mr. Florian?
Here.
Ms. McQuaid?
Here.
And Ms. Choi.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Just quickly, again, just to remind folks that are at the meeting as well as those who are possibly watching due to the COVID restrictions of Zoom, the planning board will be holding 2 meetings as opposed to 1. There's actually only one item tonight. The first item that was continued from the last meeting that will be voted on. The other 3 items, petition will make a presentation. The planning board will be able to ask questions, and then the item will be continued. This will allow the general public to view the meeting via Focus Springfield and provide any additional comments that would be read into the record on March 3rd prior to a vote. So on that note,
We have minutes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, I need a motion from the board about minutes from November 4th, 2020 and November 18th, 2020.
I move to approve minutes for those 2 time frames.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Oh, we got to do roll call, sorry.
Sanjay Vice Chair, Sanjay Dhari.
If you could,
Yeah.
everyone could put themselves on mute.
Yeah, for those folks who are not presenting at a specific time, if you could just mute your microphones to prevent background noise. And Gloria, I'm sorry, so that was a motion to approve both the sets of minutes?
Yes.
Okay, so voting in favor, Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Minio? Absent. Mr. Daniele?
Yes.
Ms. Moran?
Yes.
Ms. DiFilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Florian?
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid?
Yes.
Ms. Choi?
Yes.
Our next item, Phil.
Under public hearings continued, an all alcoholic new location 278 Main Street, Indian Orchard, petitioner Yad Food Bar and Grill, Inc.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for asking. Thanks for the opportunity to have us back on. I know the last meeting security plan was definitely a topic at hand. So we dove right into the plan, and we're definitely going to share it right now. So this is for Hip Mills Bar and Grill, 278 Main Street in Indian Orchard, 01151. It's our security plan for 2021. So our overview, I'll start there. Safety of our patrons and employees is our #1 priority. We have put together a plan to ensure that our guests and employees are safe and following all laws and guidelines set by our local, state, and federal authorities. In this document, we will go over 3 lines of defense. We will plan to operate from 10 a.m. in the morning to 2 a.m. in the morning on a given day. From the hours of 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., we plan on letting patrons in freely without being searched or identified at the door. No patrons under the age of 21 will be allowed on the premise after 9 p.m. On nights that we plan to open late, we will ask everyone that is in this bar prior to 9 p.m. to exit and to re-enter to ensure the safety of our guests and to make sure that they are not carrying any weapons or illegal contraband. Going over COVID-19, we plan to abide by all CDC and Massachusetts COVID-19 guidelines. Prior to entering the building, all guests will be required to wear a mask. Upon entering, we will have a staff member checking temperatures, and guests will be required to wear a mask unless consuming food or beverages. There'll be multiple sanitization stations in our establishment, and we will provide safe distancing from other patrons, and we will not exceed the occupant restrictions that the states have placed on the type of establishment. All employees will also abide by the COVID-19 safety protocols. So now I want to talk about the first line of defense. Our first line of defense on nights when open late will be a security guard posted at the front of the door. His or her responsibilities will be to identify individuals who are seeking to enter the building to make sure that they are of legal age. The security guard will then search every individual to make sure that they are not carrying any weapons or illegal contraband. They will also be responsible for denying any individuals who are showing any signs of being overly intoxicated. All security guards must obtain a TIPS certification prior to the employment here. And both male and female guards will be posted at the door on nights that we are open late. So our second line of defense, our servers and our bartenders are our second line of defense. They will ensure that no one under the age of 21 is served any alcoholic beverages. We will ensure that we're checking IDs. We will also be trained to oversee everybody that is drinking, and we'll be responsible for cutting off individuals who are becoming intoxicated, starting to become loud, obnoxious, and or any individuals looking for trouble from further drinking in a non-confrontational way, as taught by us in the TIPS certification course. All bartenders, servers, and security personnel will be TIPS certified prior to the employment here. Now I would like to go over our third line of defense. Security personnel will be posted at the back door and will oversee the parking lot. We also will have security at the deck and to ensure that nobody tries to enter from either doors. A bar manager will always be on site to help monitor patrons. If hosting an event, additional security personnel will be on hand to help monitor guests and patrol the property. All security personnel will be given a bright yellow shirt with the word security written on the front and on the back. All staff members will be required to wear a shirt with the restaurant name and or logo and with the words of staff written on the back, so that way we are all properly identified. Now I would like to go over enforcing the rules. If a patron becomes unruly, they will be issued a verbal warning stating that if they continue their behavior, they will be asked to leave our premises. If verbal warnings aren't enough and our unruly behavior continues, security guards will approach the patron and request that they leave. If the patron denies, security will then try and guide the patron out of the establishment. If still unsuccessful, the police will be called and the patron will be escorted out by the police. Going forward, this patron will no longer be allowed to enter our establishment. Proper documentation of all incidents will be noted. We have a zero tolerance for violence. No greater force will be used unless in self-defense or protecting another patron from being assaulted or injured. And no alcoholic beverages are allowed outside of our premises, and certainly no loitering. CCTV. We have security cameras covering all areas of the building. So the front, the back, the parking lot, the bar, the back dining area, pool tables, and kitchen. So if anything should occur, we have full video coverage for necessary playback. Here's our plan for the end of the night and closing. When we open late, security will stop letting patrons in at 1 o'clock in the morning. At 1:15, it will be our last call for alcohol. By 1:30 in the morning, all the lights will be on and we will start asking patrons to leave. Security will be posted in the parking lot from 1:15 in the morning until all patrons leave the parking lot and the lot is empty. By 1:45, the bar will be completely empty and all staff, security guards, and management will ensure that everybody who is leaving is not overly intoxicated. If a patron is obviously intoxicated, we will offer a rideshare service at the cost of the bar. The health and the safety of our patrons is our number one priority here. And our goal is to ensure that nobody is in our parking lot or surrounding areas and is free of all patrons prior to 2 a.m. on nights that we are open late.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you.
There should be more. I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Thank you so much.
Have you talked to the Indian Orchard Council?
We have been in contact with them, yes.
And they had no problems with the hours?
No, they have no problems with the hours.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I did just receive an email from Orlando that indicated that the neighborhood council did reach out. They reached out to the neighborhood council and they did not object to the 2 a.m. closing.
Okay, all right. Do any of the board members have any questions?
Hi,
Oh, go ahead.
okay. Your security, are you hiring outside security or are they gonna be your staff as well?
That's a really good question. We will have both options available.
But you haven't decided how you're gonna handle it yet.
Orlando, did you want to answer that question?
Yes. So we currently haven't hired security guards yet just because we're not open. But going forward, we do plan on hiring security guards that works for our establishment.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
Leo, did you have a question?
Just a quick question. These events that go until 2:00 in the morning, are these like ongoing? Is it once in a while? Is it something you're looking to do every week? What type of, how often do you plan on utilizing, the 2:00 closing?
We don't plan on opening every day until 2:00. But on nights where, say, somebody wants to host an event or do a birthday party, typically like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, patrons usually want to come out and enjoy themselves a little bit later on those nights. We definitely want to be able to capture that market as well. With the other businesses in the area. What's that? Okay. Can you hear me? She said she's getting bad feedback.
No, we're okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't necessarily plan on, we definitely don't plan on being open till 2 a.m. every night. Like, it's mostly for the weekends. We just want to have the option to be open for like games and, the later stuff that goes past 12 o'clock sometime, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board? There are no other, I'm sorry, Marty, did you have a question?
No. I'm all set.
Okay. If there are no other questions or concerns from the board, I would accept a motion to close this hearing.
Move to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
Do we need to do a roll call vote, right, Phil?
Yeah, voting.
There's no motion yet.
We're voting on
Close.
Yeah.
hearing.
Oh,
close the
okay.
hearing, yeah. So voting to close the hearing, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio, absent, Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Ms. Moran,
Yes.
Mr. DiFilippo,
Yes,
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Wade, Ms. McQuaid, absent at the moment, Ms. Choi,
Yes.
motion approved.
okay. Is there a motion regarding the current business?
What is that?
Mr.
Patel,
Patel, if you could mute yourself, please. I think it was Mr. Patel, but
Sanjay,
there you go.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Accept a motion for the Hemmel's Bar and Grill.
I just need to note that the motion should include a, revision to condition number 1.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Phil, I'm here. I'm here now. I had a problem with I'm on the phone, sorry. I approve that one.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to
I'll make-
approve, but I don't have the conditions with me, so I have just tonight's stuff with me.
All right, I can read the conditions. Who would second?
Second,
Okay, the recommendations are the hours of operations shall be no later than 2 p.m. There shall be no banners, streamers, or pennants located on the exterior of the building. Any and all signage shall be properly permitted.
Just a clarification, that should be 2
2 a.m. 2 a.m.
What did I say?
p.m.
Oh, sorry.
So voting on the motion, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio, absent, Mr. Daniele,
Yes,
Ms. Moran,
Yes,
Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes,
Mr. Florian,
yes,
Ms. McQuaid,
Yes.
and Ms. Choi.
yes.
The item has been approved.
thank you. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, moving on to the next agenda item under public hearings, new, a liquor license for the expansion and alteration, location 536 Worthington Street. Petitioner Bill Dan Ale House, LLC, doing business as Irish Ale House.
Good evening.
Good evening.
If you could just state your name and address, please.
My name is Thomas Kennefic. I'm an attorney representing the petitioner. I'm at my office is at 73 Chestnut Street, and with me is William Harvey, who's one of the principals in the Bill Dan company.
Could you explain a little bit of what you're planning to do at the Ale House, please?
Well, I think it's said in our petition this past year, the planning and economic development in that department, as well as the Springfield Licensing Commission, approved an outdoor patio for temporary use during that particular period of time. And so an application was submitted to the town at the city, and it was approved. And during the year 2020, the ale house was able to access the outside area, the outside patio, for purposes of serving customers food and drink. The project apparently last year was successful. There were no complaints against that were received by the Liquor Commission or any other authority. And my client has sought and seeking from the planning board and the licensing commission an opportunity to make the outdoor patio premises utilized on a permanent basis, which is the purpose for this petition. And it's essentially the petition that we've submitted is identical to the petition that was submitted for the temporary use during the past year.
Okay. And will there be, there'll be food served on the deck
There would be.
and alcohol?
There would be.
And is there entertainment out on the deck?
We haven't had it yet. No, we haven't had it yet, and I'm not sure that's an open question. I doubt that, at least for purposes of this year, that would be the case.
Okay. All right, thank you. And how
This is it's primarily a restaurant, and just to have the opportunity to have the access to outside during the nice weather. It worked well for them last year, and they were hopeful, which is the reason why they're coming before you this year. We understand the planning department made recommendations in terms of conditions, and my clients are very pleased to that they have no problem with those conditions.
okay, that the patio would close at 12 a.m.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Do any of the board members have any questions?
Nope, that was the only one I had. If they were okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're perfectly fine with that. Thank you.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Oh, if there are no other questions, I will accept a motion to continue this hearing.
Make a motion to continue the hearing.
Second.
Second.
A motion has been seconded. Phil, if you would do roll call on continuing the hearing.
Voting to continue the hearing to March 3rd, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio, absent, Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Ms. Moran,
Yes.
Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid,
Yes.
and Ms. Choi.
Yes.
So this will be brought back to the planning board on March 3rd for a vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you then.
Okay.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the agenda, under public hearings, new, the beer and wine package store, new location 537, also known as 529 Boston Road. Petitioner Boston Road OP LLC.
Bill, just for the record, I have 437.
Yeah.
Well, is that what I mean, technically I think that's the address that comes up under the GIS. I think the mailing address is 429.
Okay. That's all right, just so we make sure we got the right one. Okay, is there someone here representing?
Yes, hi, my name is Sanjay Patel.
Mr. Patel, why don't you tell us a little what you plan?
Okay, my name is Sanjay Patel. I'm the owner at the Spartacus Gas Station and convenience store. We are a 2,500 square feet facility, and we are serving convenience store and gas there. We own this place from last 6 years. And before, we never applied for beer and wine license because businesses were pretty good and all that. But with the latest, some new law with the cigarette menthol ban and all that, we are having a little hard time. So we are considering beer and wine as an option to bring back the business that we lost. We are gonna do a little remodel, remove some of the things inside the store, which is not selling as we would like to. And we're gonna make about 28 feet long cooler to put the beer and wine, and we're gonna turn a couple shelving inside the store for beer and wine purpose. I'm tip certified. I have other license in the Mobile, all the way at the Wilbraham border that we own as well, Mobile gas station. And I'm here to get and we went to a neighborhood council as well a couple days ago, and they had a meeting and they were very happy with us. And I've been doing business in Springfield on Boston Road. We have a couple other properties as well. I also own Howard Johnson as a small partner there, and also a property right across from 437, which is the old Bertera that I just purchased, and we are turning that to a car dealership and garage and reopening that place as well.
Okay, now on this, it says the hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, but on your application, it says 24 hours.
Right.
So
Right, the Pleasant store operation that we are 24-hour open store, but after hours of the legal that we can sell the beer and wine, we close the door with the chain, and the area around the like we put a chain and put a do not enter sign so people don't go on that side to make other people stop going there.
Okay. And what Peter, what are the hours for a liquor license?
They can sell 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, do any of the board members have any questions?
Gloria, just so the board knows, I just wanted to indicate I received a voicemail from a Daryl Smith from 40 Lamont Street, who wanted to indicate his support for the application. I also received an email from Eric Segundo from 28 Lamont Street. His original concerns were that question that you asked, Gloria, with the hours of operation. He was under the impression that they were going to be serving beer and wine for 24 hours. I indicated to him that was not going to be the case. And he did write me back saying that was his main concern that was addressed. So I told him the hours of operation that Mr. Signator indicated to me they could operate. So he did not have any further concerns.
Okay. And I reached out to Point because I tried to watch their meeting last night, but I was unable to. And John Lysek emailed me that a few people had a hard time. The council voted in favor. And so that they would be their approval of the petition.
Yeah, I meant to say that as well.
Okay, are there any other questions?
That was it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rosemary.
No, that was it for me. I was going to ask if we got anything from the neighborhood council. Said you did.
Yeah. Mr. Patel, do you have any,
Yes.
I don't want to say difficulty, but I can't think of the other word because the school is so near you. Oh my God, Balliet. With the students coming in to the store?
Not really. I mean, they usually, those are, we don't see too many traffic from the school there at all.
Okay, all right. No, none of the kids walking?
Not really. I mean, that's not very walkable neighborhood there, I think. I mean, it's few, but it's not like a main street downtown or anything.
True, very true. Okay, and did you see the conditions that the planning board has put on your petition?
I'm not aware with that, or I haven't got any email regarding that. Would you be able to share it with me?
Sure, it's the hours of operation shall be stated on the application, which you have put down 24 hours. There shall be no on-site consumption of alcohol. The site, including all landscaped areas, shall be maintained free of all litter and debris. The public sidewalk along Boston Road shall be maintained, including snow removal. And there shall be no banners, streamers, or pennants located on the exterior of the building.
Exactly. With that, we will of course follow, and we have been following. We have a few outside garbage can as well to keep our property clean. We have a regular snow removal company. We've been doing sidewalks along as well. The hours of operation is going to be according to the law, whatever the Springfield or the state of Massachusetts described as it. And we are thinking, or maybe we will stop 24 hours. So right now, the only reason why I'm open is because I have an employee and he wants it and he pays the bill. It doesn't do anything. But once I then have an employee and if nobody wants to do third shift, then I'm thinking to close that anyway.
Okay.
But it's up and it's running. So it's not bothering me. So.
All right. Are there any other questions from the board?
Gloria, part of the meeting you heard, there wasn't any issue about additional cars or traffic or anything. That's usually one of the biggest complaints we hear about.
Yeah, I get on the meeting, Rosemary. I couldn't get it to link to Zoom for whatever reason. But
okay.
They hadn't had any concerns, that at least it was emailed to me from the president, John Lysek.
Okay.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I will accept a motion to continue this hearing.
I'll make a motion to continue the hearing.
Is there? Bill, if you would do roll call.
Voting to continue the meeting, Mr.
Yes.
Cunningham, Mr. Minio, absent. Mr. D'Angeli.
Yes.
Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore. Ms. DiFilippo.
Yes.
Mr. Florian.
Yes.
Ms. McCray.
Yes.
And Ms. Choi.
Yes.
This item will be continued until March 3rd.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have a question, Mr. Patel? Oh, no. Okay.
Yes, we have a license committee meeting coming 24th. So my suggestion for them, just to say that the meeting continued.
Yeah, I will leave that to Mr. Signator on how they handle that one.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Under the next agenda item under public hearings, package store liquor license transfer, location 1322 Liberty Street, petitioner Parkside Discount Liquors, Inc.
Good evening, Gloria, members of the planning board. Timothy Ryan on behalf of Parkside Discount Liquors, DBA Prime Liquors. Pleasure to be back in front of you. As you may recall, Parkside Discount Liquors was back in front of you in October, I believe the date was, for a different site, Sumner Ave. The planning board voted in favor. Subsequently, the License Commission did not, just in interest of full disclosure. Mr. Gagre, the principal of Parkside Discount, had requested an appeal. An appeal was filed. Due to the long timeline that would have transpired in trying to get an appeal processed, Mr. Gagre, who's trying to purchase a license from the existing owner, the license is currently at Cottage Street. There was some concern by the owner that an appeal would be too long, and rather than go through the appeal, Mr. Gagre had found another site, which is the site at 1334 Liberty Street. The appeal of the other matter has been dismissed. There is no appeal pending. Any claim, any interest in the other site on Sumner Ave has been dropped. And so Parkside seeks to transfer the license from Cottage Street upon purchase and go to this site on Liberty Street, which is up there by the Springfield Chicopee line. It's on the same side of the street as Channel 40, and it's between Channel 40 and the city line with Chicopee. It's a 6,000 square foot building. The applicant would take both parcels or both pieces of the building. There's a lease that's been negotiated, a 5-year lease with 3 5-year options. My client's looking at a potential build out cost of $185,000 to $200,000. We met with the Hungry Hill Citizens Council. They didn't have any issue. I spoke privately with Ward 2 City Councilor Michael Fenton. Again, he had no issues or opposition to this. It's a good site because it's clearly in a commercial zone. There's about 15 to 20 parking spaces on site. There are no schools nearby. There are no churches nearby. Liberty Street is a main thoroughfare. Mr. Gagre states that all of his employees are tip certified and are recertified as required. He anticipates there would be 3 employees during lighter times, but as you get to busier times, Thursday, Friday night, or in a lead up to a weekend, he'd be increasing the staffing to as many as 5 to 6 as business needs dictate. With respect to security, there would be interior and exterior closed circuit TV cameras that will be accessed by the counter as well as remotely. The manager of this site, if approved by the planning board and then ultimately the license commission, would be Kushal Gagre, which is the brother of the principal of Parkside Discount Liquors. And I think that's all we really have at this point.
Okay. Well, that was very thorough, Attorney Ryan. Thank you. Any
And we
board,
agree to the conditions.
I just have a question about the Hungry Hill Council. You said you talked to the Hungry Hill Council?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a Zoom meeting, Mr. Cunningham, with Kathy Mossy, and
Okay.
privately, I spoke over the phone with Attorney Fenton as well.
Yeah,
City Councilor Fenton.
just so the board's aware, I did receive the letter from the president, Kathy Mossy, today indicating their support of the project.
okay,
One quick question on the name. According to what I'm looking at on the application, it says DBA World of Wines, but you just said another name when you started talking.
Prime Liquors. Yes, Mr. Gagre, I guess he put in at one point World of Wines, too much confusion. And so the DBA would be Prime Liquors.
So the application should reflect that then.
Correct.
okay. Are there any other questions from the board?
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, Peter.
There was first there was a little confusion over the address. The original address actually ended up being the Advance Auto Part store next door, and we straightened that out, and the application was, that page was resubmitted via email, and then I noticed that the DBA had changed, so Mr. Godry or applied for at least a business certificate. Could we have a complete updated package, a whole new package of the application with all of the updated forms that we can review before the License Commission meeting? Because Rosemary just saw the DBA being different, and
Yeah.
When is the
Confusing.
License Commission meeting scheduled?
I don't know.
But sometime in March?
It will be, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, by this time next week, we'll get you a completed, updated application.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing no other questions, I will accept a motion to continue this hearing.
I'll make
Continue the hearing?
a motion to continue the hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Phil, if you do roll call?
Voting to continue the meeting, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio, absent, Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Ms. Moran,
Yes.
Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid,
Yes.
and Ms. Choi. Okay, the motion's approved. It will be continued to March 3rd.
Okay.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have non-subs, Phil?
Yes, let me just see if this works here. Thank you, Peter. Let me just bring up the non-subs here. Can you guys see that?
It's still sharing. It's up now. Everybody have it?
Yes.
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 So this is an A&R plan on the corner of Silas and Levitt Street. I'm actually not 100% sure why they're submitting this. There must be some clarification on the deeds, because our GIS already shows it at 2 parcels, but it's just they're technically creating 2 parcels on Levitt Street. But again, they're not conforming. But in my opinion, these lots already exist. So
Okay.
must be something to do with the clarification of a sale.
Move to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, we can go.
And then this is a pretty simple one. It's a sale of a city-owned property on Green Street. You can see the property line currently goes down the middle. This is a vacant lot that the city has taken through taxes, so we're selling it to the abutter. As part of that process, they're required to combine.
Okay. Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
the second meeting in March, I'm going to be bringing back the, I believe at this point, I'm going to be bringing back the Main Street Overlay District. You guys had petitioned that back in December and approved it, but there's been a number of conversations with developers as well. So a number of edits have been made. So I've got the opinion by the law department that the document that we originally advertised is really significantly changed. So we're going to be going through that process again to bring it back before the board and then ultimately the city council.
Okay,
That'll be back in the middle of March. But other than that, I've got nothing further.
all right. I will accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
careful out there.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Bye.